And I'm from Ashley from Tampa over here on the other side of the room.
Ashley,
another question?
You're wearing quite a big hat. How do we know that you don't have a mouse telling you what to do?
I don't have any hair from the pull on. It's pretty simple. Remy was up late last night. He had a little too much Budweiser. So what I'm doing here is I'm making my ravioli pillows. And basically what you do is you just take just one corner and you wet it with a little bit of water. And then just put a little bit of your dough in there, your stuffing, and you're going to roll them. Now, there's two ways you can do this. One, I don't know if you can see this because of my big head in the way. All right, there we go. So that's a ravioli. That's a simple one you can do. Now, we can have a little bit of fun with this. Let's see if I'm any good. Put this here. Let's see if we can move this way. Now we have a little tortellini. Pretty cool. You guys think you can do this at home? Who just said no? I heard a no out there. Jean-Luc, you don't count. Or Luc Pierre, sorry.
Yeah, Luke.
It's a Luc Pierre something. I'm sorry.
That's French. That's all that matters.
It's French.
That's appropriate here.
Oh, that was an American diss.
Oh, I missed that one. Jeff, Matthew, I have a question. Did you put cheese with the wonton things?
Of course, I put cheese in our stuffing there. If we miss it, I'm sorry. But I mixed a little bit of ricotta cheese in there. So we have it in the stuffing. Ta-da! And then I'm just making my little wonton skins, my little roly-poly. So, now that you have your ravioli all wrapped and ready to go, now what can you do with them? You can cook them right away if you want. Or like I said, you can freeze them. Put them on a sheet tray and put them on a cookie pan. Sorry, sheet tray. Let me bring it down to the kitchen level. Cookie tray. Put them on a cookie sheet, a little bit of a pan on the bottom so they don't stick, and then throw them in the freezer for a few minutes. And just let them get a little firm before you put them in the bag, and you can freeze them all together. That way when you take them out and you want to cook them, they're ready to go. Boom, boom. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the ravioli I made here, we're going to drop them here in the water. A little bit of olive oil in there, so it doesn't stick. And all we're going to do is we're just going to heat these up and cook them till they float. In the meantime, while I'm doing that, I'm going to bring my tomato water to a little bit above room temperature. So we'll get a little bit of heat on there for it. And I'm going to take a little bit of fresh basil for my garnish.
I'm on my way to another question, Chef Matthew, with?
Full of questions today.
Richard from Celebration, Florida.
Yes, Richard from Celebration.
Okay. You said freeze the ravioli. When it comes time to cook, throw the frozen ones into the mix or thaw?
Frozen straight in the water. And then when they float, they're done. It's very, very simple, especially after you freeze them. They're a little bit easier to cook because they don't fall apart as much and they won't break up on you. Let's see here. My ravioli is perfect. Number 3. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is lobster ravioli made simple. Who thinks they can do that at home? Yes? Who's going to make it at home now? Are you really going to do it? I'm going to check on you guys. I'm going to give you my email address and I want to see how they turn out. Well, very good, guys. Thank you all very much for coming. I hope you all enjoyed everything. It just goes to show you that anybody can cook, yes? Yes. Made it pretty easy?
Yes.
Did I answer enough questions?
Yes.
No? What do you have?
I don't know. What does the oil do?
The oil in the water? It just helps the ravioli or the pasta from sticking to each other. That's all. It just adds a lubrication. You don't have to put it in there. Salt can kind of do the same thing. It creates a barrier.
Seems to be a difference in the chefs that use they cook a lot of pasta. Some say yes, they put it in. Some say no. Why would that be?
Just preferential. I've always used oil, a little bit of oil. That's never hurt anything. And then when you take the pasta out, for sure you toss it in a little bit of oil so it doesn't stick. Yes, sir.
How much different would the recipe be if it's fresh pasta as opposed to the wonton?
It wouldn't be too much different. It's just when you're using the fresh pasta, you want to make sure that it's at room temperature and that doesn't get too warm. Because if it gets too warm, then it'll fall apart when you cook it. So as long as it's at room temperature, you're using a marble board so it stays a little bit chillier, then you'll find it. Yes.
If you were serving 1,000 people lobster ravioli, how would you make it all taste wonderful?
Well, we try to do that. Obviously, we make our tomato broth in a larger batch. I use approximately 250 pounds of tomatoes every day when we make our tomato broth. And we always stay a day ahead. So all the tomato and the basil and the garlic and everything has been crushed and been marinating tonight. And I put it in a perforated pan so it just drips out. And I get that clear tomato water, and then we take it through the cheesecloth tonight, right before service, and then we adjust it to flavor for tonight. And then the ravioli that we have is a product that is made for Royal Caribbean. I'm sorry, for Disney. By sorry. Hey, I worked for them for 4 years before the mouse called me. So, but no, it's a product that's made by. It was a recipe developed by our chefs and is made to our specs and then it's brought here on board for us. So we don't have to make them all by hand. Because we do approximately 80 to 90 pounds of lobster ravioli a night, which that's about 40 orders per pound. So we do about 2,000 orders a night. Yep, each time we're boiling fresh. We're boiling them as fresh as possible to get them and then plate them and then they go out to the table. So it's cooked, plated, and then to the table within 5 minutes or less.
I've got one more question over here.
Where are you?
Over here.
Oh, there you are.
Windows. Okay, your pulled pork barbecue sauce recipe. You taunted us. Can you do it quick because football season's about to end?
Well, it's kind of a mixture of a couple different things, but my personal favorite is Sweet Baby Ray's.
Yes.
Yeah, Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. And I mix that with a little extra Worcestershire, some chopped tomatoes, grilled onions, and then cook the onions and tomatoes in a skillet, and then deglaze it with Jack Daniels, and then I add the Sweet Baby Ray's. And it all mixes together, so you gotta get like a chunky barbecue sauce, especially the pulled pork. It kind of has a little extra flavor. And then I always do a dry rub on my pork, so. I can tell you that later. That's a secret recipe. Anybody else? Questions?
Great, did everybody give one? Oh, we have one question in the back.
I just wondered, is it true St. Louis is taking up a collection to re-sign Albert Pujols?
I hope so. The question was, are we taking up a collection to re-sign Albert Pujols? He put a deadline on his contract negotiations. He won't talk about it during the season. So he wants to have it done before spring training's over with, and spring training's starting very, very soon. So I don't know. I hope they, if I need to donate to it, I will. That's for sure. I need to keep him in St. Louis. And otherwise, Steinbrenners are going to buy him up, and then the Yankees will be unbeatable. Who said they can't beat the Giants? Please. You were lucky. I won't get into that. That's it. Guys, thank you all very, very much. I hope you have a wonderful time. I'll see some of you this evening in the Enchanted Garden. If not, enjoy Royal Palace for Animators this evening. And thank you all very much for coming on the cruise. Have a great night.
Thank you so much, Chef Matthew. Everybody else, we have plenty of more stuff coming for you this afternoon. We have some jackpot bingo, a pool party with our band Jet Set, Disney's Believe tonight in the Walt Disney Theater. Don't miss it. Just take a look at your navigators. So thank you for stopping by. Once again, my name is Pierre-Luc, and it was great to have you guys here today. Have a great day.